Hey guys, how you doing? First of all, I hope you like my outfit. My mum says I've got to wear an apron from now on, so she got me this for Christmas, so I don't know how I feel about it, but it's got to be done, innit? Anyway, I posted a couple of photos of some chicken wings that I did last week, and I had loads of people ask me for the recipe. Truth is, I sort of freestyled it a little bit. I made them different a couple of different times, but I think I've cracked the recipe. So chicken wings is something that I think is massively underused. I mean, chicken wings on their own, I mean, that whole pack, 700 grams, £2.13. Really cheap. I don't think a lot of people really don't use these like they should do. The reason why I wanted to create a little recipe for chicken wings is I'm a huge fan of Nando's. Well, I was actually a huge fan of Nando's, just out of convenience because it's right around the corner from my house. It's wherever I go, there's always a Nando's. It's quite easy to track on MyFitnessPal, and the chicken wings were one of the things that I used to go for. But over the past 18 months, I don't know if it's because I've been a little bit more adventurous with my cooking, but they seem to have slipped and a bit hit and miss, should I say. So a few occasions I've been in and they've been overcooked, and overcooked chicken is probably the worst thing. I absolutely hate it when it's dry and brittle, so sort of create my own little recipe. These are dead quick and easy and simple to do. It's not something that I use as a solid meal. I use these more as a snack. So I'll have these in the fridge and they last like 4 or 5 days. They're actually even better cold. So once they've sort of like soaked up all that flavour, they tenderise in the fridge overnight, they're even better the next day. So these are really good just to have in the fridge all the time if you're struggling with your protein, which with my clients and most of the people that I seem to speak to, it's the one thing that they're usually deficient in is protein. So you don't have to have protein in every meal, but the protein snacks will really help. So we're going to do sort of like, it's just something that I've sort of chucked together. So they're dead simple, easy to do. So it's sort of like a sweet and sour, and I like my stuff spicy, so a sweet and sour spicy chicken wings with a couple of different layers. So we're going to start off with a dry rub. We're going to crisp them up in the frying pan, and then we're going to finish them off with a little bit of sweet chili sauce in the oven. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to chuck together a little dry rub. So I like mine quite spicy, so we're going to start off with about a tablespoon of smoked paprika. You can get that at most supermarkets. It's dead quick and simple. About half a tablespoon of coriander. A shit ton of dried chilies because I like it with spice. Don't know what that was, sorry. Chili, and then obviously just a little bit of salt and a tiny little bit of pepper. I'm not too keen on the pepper. And then what we're going to do to save washing up, because as my girlfriend will tell you, washing up, not my bag at all. Hate it. Right, okay, so to save washing up, you can just chuck this dry rub over the top and get your hands in there. Ideally, you could leave these overnight in the fridge, and those flavours will really absorb. But I haven't got time for that shit. So, right, so this pan should have been on. So get your pan nice and hot. I'm going to use a little bit of coconut oil. What am I looking for? A tablespoon. So I've got about maybe 25 grams of coconut oil. That goes on. In the meantime, guys, get your oven nice and hot. You want it at about 250. And then I'm using just an oven tray. Chuck some tin foil over. And that means when the chicken wings come out, we can chuck them straight on there, get them in the oven, and they'll be good to go. Right, so what we want to do, we want to crisp up the skin. So we're only going to cook these on one side. So you see the chicken wing like this as the majority of the skin on this side. So all we're going to do is just place them. I'm actually using a wok because it's my biggest frying pan, but you can do these in a regular frying pan. Okay, we're going to bang them down, face side down, and they're going to take, I'm going to leave them on for about 5 minutes. So we'll see how they get on, and then we'll chuck them in the fridge. Right, okay, so it's taken about probably about 7 or 8 minutes for those to crisp up nicely. So what I've done is just left them on for about 3.5 minutes, flipped them over onto the other side, tried getting as much of the skin touching the surface as possible, and so they're not cooked, but the skin, as you can see, is nice and crispy on the outside. Okay, there's some wonderful flavours coming off that. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to place these onto the baking tray. Ideally, you want to get these separated, because when you put something in the oven, this is a great tip if you're cooking sweet potatoes. It's something that I'll probably do in one of my videos in the near future. If you're cooking sweet potatoes in a baking tray, you want them to separate so they don't touch, and that creates steam. So you start steaming the chicken wings, which you don't really want. So try and get these chicken wings separated. Don't worry too much if some of them are touching. Oh, look at that, perfect. Right. Now what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use a sweet chilli sauce. You do not need a lot of this. I think there's about 186 calories per 100 grams. It's loaded full of sugar. You don't need a lot of this. This is just to give it a tiny, nice little glaze. But you can quite easily turn a high protein, moderate fat, low carbohydrate snack into a high carbohydrate, high protein, moderate fat snack, and that's not what we're going for in this recipe. We're just going for high protein. So you're going to just take a tiny little squirt on the top of each one, and then give it a little flip. And then a tiny little bit on each one of these. Now I'm going to track these on MyFitnessPal. My best advice for tracking your own recipes is create your own recipes. So I know that I've used about 10 grams of the sweet chilli. If you put that into MyFitnessPal and you put per serving, it'll work out exactly for you. It does all the hard work for you. If you put a little bit of time in putting your own recipes in MyFitnessPal, it really will pay off. Now I've got my oven on, I can't even read the dials because my oven's shit, but I know it's on hot. So get it nice and hot about 10 minutes before you're about to use the oven, and these should take around 20 minutes. You don't really need to worry about overcooking the chicken wings. Like with any chicken on the bone, you're going to get quite a lot of the juices from the bone, so you can cook these low and slow. It really doesn't matter. You can't really overcook those unless you absolutely smash them in the oven for an hour. So we're going to leave those in for 10-15 minutes, and we'll come back and have a look how they come out. Okay? Right, okay, they've taken a good 15 minutes to cook up. They should be nice and crispy. I've let these cool down slightly. They should be nice and crispy and juicy on the inside. Like I say, they are actually better the next day, so I think I'm going to have those for my lunch tomorrow, or with my lunch tomorrow. And they go great with a little bit of a dip. Now I like to make like a little bit of a, it's sort of like if you've been to Nando's and had that Peronaise, it's like mayo and peri-peri sauce. So I'm just going to do pretty much the same. So I've got some mayo light. Now when you're using this, although it says mayo light, it's not light really. It's still got around, I think there's about 27 grams of fat per 100 grams, which is certainly not light anyway, so you don't need a lot of this. So just tiny little squirt of that, and then a little dribble of that, and then we'll give it a little mix up. And then Oh shit, hey, we're good to go. Right, hope you enjoyed that, guys. Give it a go. Give me a share, give me a like. Thanks for all the love. Peace out.